Milford selectmen were given an update a week or so ago on technology issues by Administrator Rick Villani.
I did meet with Superintendent Tremblay to discuss how we would handle IT, at least on a short-term basis. Short-term, as you know, World Band is managing IT for both the town and the school. He will World Band will be supervised by Superintendent Tremblay for school IT and also me for the town IT. There will be some common issues that we both will have to be involved in that I'll talk about in a second. For example, budget sense. The direction of our IT technicians also will be through World Band. We will also continue to use our ticket system.
Villani also said the school's tech plan will be discussed by the school committee in their special meeting this evening.
In speaking with Superintendent Tremblay, he informed me that he has developed a school IT educational plan. He needs the development of infrastructure and backbone plan to implement. He will be presenting a report to the school committee, which will include that. I'm assuming that plan will need to be vetted by them. I'm told they're meeting next week. Relative to the town, we have a number of items in fiscal year 16 budget that we need to do. The most important is new virtual servers. We will be doing that, and we're also starting the migrating of BudgetSense, Municity, Zobrio, and Patriot Properties. These are the programs used by, obviously, the treasurer, the accountant, building inspector, tax collector, and assessor. They will be migrated to new virtual servers. We'll basically be updating from outdated 2003 service support package forms to 2012 service support licenses.
Superintendent Bob Tremblay said there is a plan, and selectmen have been critical of the school's technology or lack thereof. And he's been critical, too, of past IT directors.
For any number of reasons, there's been some comment about the school not having a plan where they want to go. And
you said some arrows have been shot at.
Yeah, I suppose I said cannonballs launched, whatever. I feel as though at some level the school department's been under attack, however you want to look at that, about being critical of the school department of that. But we've had a technology plan really long before I've been there. And certainly we've revised that plan and modified that to reflect the needs of our kids, and there's one going forward to 2017. So there's not an absence of a technology plan. There's the absence of a visionary to put that technology plan into place in terms of the back end of the operation. We haven't had that, in my view, of past IT directors to really understand. So, for example, I presented to the school committee, I don't know if you've seen the meeting since it happened on Thursday. Yes. I put together a timeline that showed an implementation plan. And so if you think of it just above the timeline and below the timeline, and what's above the timeline are those technology initiatives that are driven by curriculum. How we're going to use a blended learning, say Chromebooks in the classroom, or one-on-one, and how we move in that direction. But in the bottom of the timeline is the backbone, the architecture to how we get there. In other words, you can't just roll out X number of Chromebooks in a school department without having the bandwidth to support that.
And Tremblay is in favor of divesting the schools from the town.
I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the school committee. Last Thursday's meeting, I did put my opinion out there. My opinion is, honestly, that we have the technology team at the school department in place to roll out those technology initiatives. Yep. As far as the back end of that, I think there may be a place for a technology director at some point when that system is up and running. In the meanwhile, I think the best bang for our buck is to invest in getting some third party to, whether it's World Band or some other third party, to manage the implementation of the network architecture. Once that's all in place and we're up and running,
then you need the guy.
Then you need somebody to oversee all that. That's just to be clear. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody but myself.
Chairman Mike Walsh told WMRC he feels the technology audit is a tool for self-evaluation and said the members are definitely making corrections. He told us over the weekend he hopes by bringing all parties together tonight it will help move this process even further along and put a plan in place so that the areas of concern are corrected and stay corrected. Chairman Walsh and Lonnie Tinio of World Band.
Okay. I think, honestly, Lonnie, too, with the conversation that you and I had, I had reached out to you, is that you said you do have a plan. So tonight is evidence that we do, in fact, have a plan. What you said is you just got to get it done. You get it done.
I'm not saying that Wally's report is wrong in any way. There's just a lot to throw at you there, and you hear these numbers and everybody's head spins around. It's a lot to do. There's a lot that wasn't, it just got old, and it got old real fast, and then everything needs to be done at once. Also with that phased approach, now when your next plan, as you build your next plan, the phasing becomes much easier. Because now if you have that plan in place, if you're doing one this year, one next year, well, when that one ends up on the other end, you know that 5 or 6 years or 10 years, depending on what piece of equipment you're talking about, now that one is at the end of the plan.